You definitely sometimes feel that loneliness because the friends you meet, they're gonna like come and go. Even if you are in one place for a month, you meet someone, you're hanging out the whole month. Usually you end up nomading to other places.
Hi, I'm Henry, and today I'm here with Sharon, and we're going to chat digital nomading. Sharon, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So word on the street has it that you've been traveling for 2 years, and what's that been like?
Yeah, it's been great. So I basically left around 2016 and then came back in 2018. So I traveled 6 months in Europe and then another 6 in Asia. Came back to the US and then traveled around US and Canada, then went back out to Asia and then back here again.
Take us back to the beginning. Like, how did you decide to embark on this journey?
I had been in the Bay Area for most of my life, like over 20 years. And I went to Europe like on a solo Europe trip, and that kind of like opened my eyes. I was in Europe for like a month, meeting new people and seeing all their walks of life, and I was really inspired. And I wanted to know if there's a way I could do that more like long term. So I wanted to see if I could create that financial freedom to be able to do that. So I started studying a lot of books and a lot of blogs, started researching a lot. I started with like real estate investment, trying to like look up more on that. And then I moved into online business and looking into like passive income online businesses. That's where I learned about the term digital nomading. And that's basically the term you use for people who work location independently from wherever they want from their laptop, basically. And that was like eye-opening for me. So the more I studied, the more like excited I was. I started trying to build passive income streams, then picked up some remote positions and things like that. I decided to book a one-way ticket to Stockholm 6 months out, and I was like, this is my deadline. If I'm not ready by then, it's okay, but I'm gonna try to aim for that date. And I was just, working on those remote positions as well as building up that passive income. And by that time, that date hit, I was like, all right, let's just do it. So that's basically the story.
Did you budget like how much you would need and how much you would need to make every month?
What I did was I booked 6 months in advance. So I booked the flights and accommodations out for 6 months. So I kind of knew how much it was going to cost. I looked up figures on like numbeo.com and nomadlist.com. So those are great resources for researching how much it costs to live at these places. And what I found was I actually spent on average $1,400 a month, which was crazy because that includes everything from accommodations, flights, entertainment, food, everything, right? So that's crazy because the rent in SF is like more than that. So I thought it was like a financially responsible decision to actually go out there.
And in speaking of your income, how much of that came from remote work versus the businesses that you've set up?
Well, I started with mainly the part-time remote positions funding my expenses and things like that. So I was able to save money basically, and then I transitioned to passive income. So I was building that passive income while I was working those remote positions. And I basically stopped doing those and started working on only like my own businesses. And that ended up basically covering my travel expenses.
Did you have like a set schedule, or how did you kind of like stay disciplined and really grow your businesses?
That was definitely one of the challenges. When you're an entrepreneur, it's just like a lot harder to like make sure you're getting your stuff done, make sure you have your schedules in place, but it all comes down to you. You have to set it yourself, and you just have to stay disciplined and look towards like what do you want to accomplish and like try to hit those milestones to get to your goals. So what I did was I kind of used like Google Sheets and Google Keep to kind of have my daily tasks ready every day and knock those out. So every time I got that done, I just felt like I got what I needed to done.
That's awesome. How did you decide where to travel next?
A lot of it was booked in advance. So again, I mentioned like Nomad List and numbeo.com. Those were great ways to check like affordable places as well as places that were fun and safe. Those were like my main factors to choose my next places. I also looked at maybe like YouTube videos to see where other nomads might have gone to. So a lot of it was just doing the research at with these resources and then booking ahead of time.
Just curious, like what's your Myers-Briggs?
My Myers-Briggs, it's a INFJ.
Okay, that's super interesting. Do you just like stay introverted abroad too, or?
I think I've become more extroverted, but I would say that I do have to kind of like push myself to go meet people. But for some reason, when I'm traveling, it's less of like a chore. It's more exciting for me because I get to learn new stories about people and like learn new things from meeting all these people. And also like when I'm home, everyone knows me, so it's like different. And when you're abroad, no one knows you, so you can kind of do whatever you want and no one knows, right? So it's like a different feeling. So you end up feeling more courageous, I think, when you're traveling because like especially solo travel, I think you just do what you want basically.
Did you ever feel lonely, and how did you deal with it?
You definitely sometimes feel that loneliness because the friends you meet, they're gonna like come and go. Even if you are in one place for a month, you meet someone, you're hanging out the whole month. Usually you end up nomading to other places. So that ends up feeling like, oh, you don't have like that close knit community. But actually, I met some friends in Bucharest where we met actually through the Facebook group. So I hit up people, was like, oh, is anyone here? And we ended up meeting, and like I still talk to them to this day, and they're still like my closest friends. I think without them, I would have been way more lonely. But luckily, I had them. But other ways you can make friends is like through co-working spaces, through having roommates and stuff like that. I had like flatmates in Athens. I had roommates in Lisbon, and you can make local friends that way as well. So there are multiple ways to make friends. I think there's a lot of different resources, and luckily I was able to make those close friends in that Facebook group. So.
What would you say is the most challenging part about being a digital nomad?
I would say, well, the one you mentioned about structuring your day can be difficult because you have the freedom to do whatever, right? So you have to make sure you're disciplined. You have to make sure you're creating those schedules. So that's like the entrepreneurial challenge. The second one is you kind of have a lot of time to think. So you end up thinking like, what's my purpose? Is this the right path for me? And a lot of the challenges is kind of like internal, just trying to see if you are aligned with like who you want to be, your ideal self kind of thing. So I would say those two are the main challenges.
Were you able to find your purpose?
What I found was that like basically financial freedom wasn't like my purpose or anything. It was the tool to give me the time to figure out my purpose and pursue that. So what I found was I wasn't like completely fulfilled by what I was doing. I was building up these passive income streams, trying to hit those numeric goals per month, which was great. I was able to get it to a high number where I was like saving a decent amount of money from it. But I wanted to come back to the Bay Area because I wanted to grow my skills. I wanted to be around that energy where people were like building stuff, like ambitious. And I think a lot of the Bay Area energy is like that startup culture, and they're trying to like kind of build up stuff based on what they're passionate about too. So I think that was why I came back, and I could relate to people here a lot more. I mean, when I was in Chiang Mai, I found that a lot of people were just like chilling, relaxing, trying to just get by. So they just wanted enough income to cover their expenses. And I thought like I needed that energy to like back home to kind of work on getting better at, building my businesses, getting better at marketing, getting better at the things that I wanted to be better at.
Now that you're back, what are you focused on now?
Now I am building my brand. I am building my YouTube channel as well as my blog that I've had for like 4 years. And I teach people how to build passive income. So actually while I was building the passive income, I was blogging about how to pursue these different income streams, and I would document my process. And now it's like about really just teaching people and building that brand where I can help people achieve that financial freedom and that ability to design your life kind of. So that's like my whole purpose right now, is to inspire people to live the life that's true to themselves. And I said, I guess like purpose is kind of where passion and impact merge, and that's how I feel with the brand. It's like I'm passionate about this, as well as I feel like I'm helping people. So it feels good right now. It feels fulfilling right now.
Just curious, what are your passive income streams?
Currently, it's Etsy, so I sell digital downloads on Etsy, as well as merch by Amazon, fulfillment by Amazon. I did some affiliate marketing through my blog, and I make some money there. Also, I have like a rental property that's cash flowing, so that gives me passive income as well.
Cool. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing all there is to know about digital nomading. How can people find out more about passive income and how to digital nomad?
Yeah, so you can find me at digitalnomadquest.com, as well as YouTube. You can find me at Sharon, Tseung.